Hey everyone, I'm Bilal. Hope you're doing well. I'm joined here today with Nathan with Wonderland TCG. Nathan, do you want to say hello?
Hello everybody. Yeah, my name is Nathan. I've been making video editing content for Wonderland TCG for those couple of games, and we've got something fun to do today, right?
Yeah, buddy. Gonna look
Mm.
over the cards for the next upcoming set. I don't know when it releases exactly, but we're
Yeah, I
excited
don't
for
think
it.
they have announced it yet, right?
No, but it's close, I think.
Yeah,
Let me just
I
adjust
should.
some audio real quick, and then I think you're good to go. And I'm gonna switch over to the. Should we start with Spirit Link or Union cards first? Because those are the new
Ooh,
exciting mechanics.
that'd be quite fun. Let's start off with the Spirit Link. Let's start with
Spirit
Spirit
Link
Links.
it
That'd be
is.
quite good.
And then you can, of course, let everybody here know what these cards are all about. Which one do you want to
Yeah,
do first?
exactly. No.
I know you have some
Oh,
favorites.
I'll let you pick because again, the layout's a little bit different for each person when they go on the site, right? So I'll let you
Right,
pick
that's
out
true.
one.
I'm gonna go with Milo the Imagineer. This card
Mm.
is kind
Ooh,
of nutty.
I haven't actually seen this card yet. Haven't seen this one.
Yeah, I just saw it today with the
Do
when I was looking at the information.
you want me to read it out and then
I can go for it.
go? Yeah, go for it.
All right. So when the card destroys a champion in battle, if your stage allows it, special summon one water type champion from your graveyard to your stage that is level 4 or lower. If any of the special summon champions are destroyed or tributed, reduce your life points by 300.
Ooh, oh, that's quite interesting because it's like one thing I'm quite curious is that does that affect stay on even if he leaves play, right? That's something that I'm quite interested about. Like,
So
do you
like the
think it's
champion
a? I think
itself.
yeah, like the tribute itself gains that effect of making you tribute and reduce your life points by 300.
It's possible.
Possibly, yeah. Because I think it's a. I think this card's pretty solid. I think the thing that surprised me was when they started revealing the set with the spoilers is that how much they're supporting water types this set, which is quite
Well,
exciting. I'm quite happy for it.
nowadays.
Mm. Well, it's quite interesting because they've got like a lot of good interactions with both the grave and the banish zone. I think one of the cards actually banishes water types from your hand or something. So it's pretty good that this Milo card here, like what's it called, allows you to bring those cards back quite efficiently. I mean, Excited can't get anything big though, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, level 4 or lower definitely feels like you'll probably just get the cards that you were playing with earlier back.
Yeah, I mean it's not too bad. Like again, like I think anyone will take a free body because again, this
Right.
is free K. Kill some when this kills something on stage, you get a free card out of it anyway, which that itself can attack. Mm.
That is true. So you're doing double damage almost.
Yeah, you almost like double like every time you attack, you get something else on top of that, right?
Plus, the only thing is, Erica, the Imagineer, and Milo's Fun is what's used to combine for this card. So I think Erica is a
Mm.
one tribute summon or two tribute.
Yeah, she's a level 5, so she's a
Right.
one tribute.
Yeah.
But she's cosmic if I or light. She's a light champion, right?
Right. And then that means it's probably not too difficult to play out this card. But I love this artwork. It's kind of bananas.
Yeah, no, it's visually like really good. I think it's one of the 101s, right?
Uh, it might be. Let me just double check. Hold on.
That's good because that one you've got on screen. That's
Signature, right?
the signature one, yeah. And I think they're the only 101s, right?
Yeah, it is. It's a 101. Oh man.
Oh,
Wait, so does 101 mean there's no variation of this? It's just if you want to play this card, you have to get the 101.
I think it's like there's only going to be one of them that exists.
Well, then that means someone
Someone's
Lorcana
gonna
upper
get very
hand.
lucky. Someone's gonna have a pretty good time with this. Now I'm trying to figure out because I know Erica the Imaginer, but Milo's fun. I haven't actually seen that card, right? I can't remember
Right,
what
that's
that
a new
card
one. We
does.
can hop into that card right now if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find it on the handler list. What I actually do.
Let's
Oh, I've got
see.
it. It's like a guy with a blue cape. In the handler section.
Oh, it's in. It's a handler. I thought it was a champion.
Yeah, because it's a spirit link. It has like
Handler.
what's it? You have to use both, like a handler and a champion. See that effect isn't actually that, but I've just read it what it does.
That's pretty cool though.
Mm,
It's like a
so it's
surfboard almost.
my boy's surfing.
Flip a coin. If it
Yep.
lands heads, draw 2 cards and select one water type champion on your opponent's stage and return it to their hand. If it lands tails, banish your hand and draw a new hand. Oh, so you kind of win either way almost.
Yeah, that's the thing that's quite interesting. Is that like what I think I can't remember the card now. I can try to find it in a second. In set 1, there's a card that literally gets water champions from your banish zone back into your hand or play for like an effect. So like even like so both sides of this aren't even that bad because like you always don't mind drawing 2 cards and you don't mind banishing your hand to draw a new hand. Like yeah, you lose out on a bunch of your resources anyway, but like water does have like 1 card at least that can interact with it, so it isn't too bad, right?
Plus, if you have spell cards, you could always potentially put them down on the field before you use this ability so that you don't lose too
Right,
many
yeah.
resources.
Right, yeah. It's because like because I think we like established it before, like when we discussed cards, is that like a card becomes really potent when it can both it itself is really good, but more
Right.
importantly the cards that make it up can be used otherwise. Like they're not just dead cards that don't do anything.
No, of course. I mean, you and I know what it's like to draw. Like, it's always good to
just
draw.
draw video cards, and then like that's what I'm saying is that like Erica might be a bit of a dead draw because Erica can't be summoned by Milo. Well, I don't know. I think Milo's alright. I think it's a pretty solid card. I don't think it's the best water champion. I think as in like the best Spirit Link water champion you can get out. I think that still is we could talk about Ren, the Queen of the Ocean. But I think he's still really solid.
That's a
Like if you
champion,
have this
right?
card, the Spirit Link champion, yeah.
So yeah.
I think that one's a bit better. So she's I'll start reading
Yeah.
out.
Just today it was
Queen of
released.
Ren, the Queen of the Ocean. She's a level 3. Level 9, 3,500 attack and 3,000 defense water champion. She requires Ren swimming lessons and Mirazuma, the Witch of the Ocean. Once per turn, you can banish 1 card from your graveyard until you get 1 champion on your opponent's stage. That champion cannot engage in attack in your opponent's next turn. This card gains 100 attack for each card water champion in your graveyard. So this
Almost.
yeah, I think like she doesn't resummon, but the fact that like she can basically negate a card is really cool. And like especially when like if you can do tricky things like with putting your banished cards back into your graveyard and then like she does that again, like you can constantly just keep saying like okay, your big champion can't attack, and it's not like you're going to get through this at this point, right? Because you're going to have so many water champions. If you have a lot of water champions in your grave, this card basically is unstoppable. Because you only need like what 5 or 6 to get it, but 5 to get above 4K. And then like if you have like 6 or 7 like in there, she's like basically stat wise one of the stronger champions.
That's when you need to pull out the good old Legion.
Negate it. Right. But no, I still think it's again, I personally think I don't know if anyone in what's it called in chat, like what's it called, agrees, but I think I personally think Ren is a little bit better than Milo. I think because I think I'd much rather have one big dude that can like negate attacks and interact with my graveyard a bit, like she has value on her own, rather than something that like gets small things out. Like that's just my opinion.
Also, the fact that it's not a 1-on-1, so it's more attainable.
Like you're actually going to get it? No way.
It's feasible to get it as a single too.
Yeah. We're realistically actually gonna like see it in decks. No way.
I mean,
No, I think she's a good like she's like a really solid like late game payoff for water decks.
right.
I think because you've got so much like synergy with like her other cards. Because I think the other one is like her handler. If you want to put it up on stream, Ren's swimming lessons is really good. If I remember correctly, I might be wrong. Yeah. So Ren's, yeah, it's the handler. Because I think the other one is a new champion. Yeah, there's so much. There's a lot of new cards. A lot of new cards. Like I think it's like nearly twice as big as set 2. Yeah, so Ren swimming lessons. You flip a coin. If it lands heads, select one water champion on your stage. Its attack and defense become equal to your opponent's strongest card on the stage. Your opponent does not have any champions on your stage. It becomes 3,000. If it lands tails, reduce your life points by 1,000. This is actually like really solid because it's just like either turn something into a 3K if they have nothing, then a couple you potentially win, or just like gives you a 1-for-1 trade, which isn't too bad.
No, absolutely not. It's not bad at all.
Mm.
It looks like a rarity is an ultra rare too, so it's probably feasible to get at least 3 of these easily.
Yeah, or like your fees be gonna have like 1 or 2. Because I don't like. Okay.
I was gonna say I love that there's the more of the artwork where it's breaking the borders.
Yeah, like the low like block ring. She's like, "Come on in,
Exactly.
come, let's go for a swim." It's swimming time.
That was completely borderless. Almost, it felt like that one's just the 1-on-1.
I think it is right.
Unstoppable. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to look at it again. Yeah, it is. It is just borderless. It just has the 1-9 logo on top. It looks dope. Oh, it looks dope as hell.
Man, I want to open this set so badly.
I like that's the thing that's gonna be like so annoying is like seeing these like, oh, these are so cool, right? Like, do I just keep them in a binder to look pretty, or do I actually play with it? Like, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm a big collector, so I completely get it. Do you
Yeah.
Have you gone through all the cards yet and had one favorite or at least a couple favorites that you want to discuss?
I had one favorite. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Like one personal favorite of mine that I'm actually really excited to try out. Let me just find it real quick.
You know my favorite, so but we'll go later.
We should still talk about like let's see like what else it has. I think mine is like a really early spoiler, Zeke the Winged Guardian. Like they changed the border on it.
That's Spirit Link, I believe.
Yeah. It's another Spirit Link.
They made it gold.
Yeah, instead of silver.
I like it. It's good.
Yeah, so it's a level 6, 2100 attack, 1800 defense, win champion. It requires Zeke, Intrigue, and Wing Guardian from set 1. Each turn, you can discard one win type champion from your hand to add 100 type points to your equipped champion. If the effect is activated, you cannot activate any spell cards during the same turn. The attack boost only lasts until the end of your turn. Oh, they changed this. Oh, they changed it. Because it used to be, I think it was like 500 attack now. Like back when I first saw it. Ooh, that changes the card quite a bit. Oh, because 500 feels like a good stat boost. I don't know about 100 though. 100 feels a bit tiny for one card, right?
Unless you discard, you can't discard more than one. But it is each turn.
Yeah, so each turn you could discard one. But the thing is that like, is one card every turn worth 100 attack, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing. Like at 500, it actually is like a goodish stat line. But like at 100, oh, like This card just came a little bit, a tiny bit
Might
from
be
me.
might be probably only good maybe early game.
Yeah, because I think like my argument was that like when it first got revealed at 500 is that like not only is this card like really easy to summon because I think Wind Guardian's a level 3 wind, so it actually interacts with this card after you summon it, and then Zeke's Intrigue is a really good card. But like there's the fact that like it's easy to summon, and more importantly, it's like the resources that make it completely synergize with it after the fact. Like they're not long, they're actually really important cards for the deck because you want to have like a bunch of win champions in your hand. Wing Guardian is a win champion, and Zeke's Intrigue is like a potential refill for you. So you can refill your hand and get some more win champions to then discard again. So I think it was like, oh, I also will say I quite like how it's actually like Zeke again though.
Yeah.
I quite like that. And the fact that it's actually Zeke the Wing Guardian. Like it's Zeke's like the original character of Zeke's Intrigue, and then actually fused with it. It's quite cool.
Perfect card to start off when they were first doing the release, so it's kind of easy to absorb what it's all about for Spirit Link.
Yeah, like it's two very not very. I was gonna say two very powerful cards. Like Zeke's Intrigue is very strong. I don't know about Wing Guardian though, because I think it's a pretty small stat line. If I remember correctly.
Don't worry, we won't be going to set 1. We're just focusing on set 2 though.
Set 2, yeah. You can't be here all day, right?
Yeah, of course. Felicia the Imagineer, another Spirit Link card, got an upgrade. But it's interesting because I remember Felicia Courage combined with Erica the Imagineer were the 2 top SSRs.
Oh, from set 1, right?
Right.
Yeah. So a lot of people have this. I've seen a lot of people pull the cards. So this one, like, being is it SPR?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have one at least, I think, if you open a box, maybe. Eventually.
Nice artwork too.
What does she do?
When this card destroys a champion in battle, damage is directly inflicted to your opponent's life points equal to the destroyed champion's attack or defense points, depending on the attack champion's position on the stage.
So if you hit an attack position champion, you deal damage to them because of attack, and then defense is the same, right?
Right. So if it's an attack position, their attack points will be reduced to life points, and then if it's in defense position, you still take the damage.
Yeah, you take your champion's defense.
Of their defense.
Yeah, which is pretty good because like we've seen like a popularity of like playing quite defensively, like. So, like, at least, like, obviously, like, defensive triggers and stuff, but at least, like, this card specifically, like, yeah, you might lose it, like, Felicia the Imaginer to, like, a trigger or something, but at least, like, if you hit a defense champion, you still deal damage, right?
Of course.
Because, like, this stat line is, like, again, like, really solid. Like, we don't... Anything above 3k is really good.
Anything 3k
like,
in general is definitely really good.
Well, it's hard to get to 3k, like, with normal champions, right? So seeing anything above that, it's like, oh boy, very good.
We could look at one of the biggest attack characters if you want.
Oh, yeah, sure. Which one's that one?
I'm trying to find. Jiro, Ruler of Time.
Oh my god, yeah. I think that I'm trying to see.
Attack.
Yeah, it's I think because it uses the Time Ruler's Machine and Jiro, the Golden Pendulum from set 1. And it's 4,500 attack and 3,500 defense. A time champion. Once on the stage, all time champions you control are unaffected by all spell cards. Discard one time champion from your hand and toss a coin. If the coin lands on heads, your turn restarts at the end of this turn. This effect cannot be activated during your turn restart. So it's basically you get an extra turn.
Plus, it's immune to spells.
It makes everything immune to spells, right?
Yeah, all time champions specifically that I control.
Yeah.
Or the opponent controls.
Yeah. See, like I remember, the thing that's quite nice about this is that now it kind of makes Jiro and then the Time Rulers, like Jiro specifically, like actually useful if you can't summon it. right? Because it's you don't have to do it from hand, right? I'm trying to remember if Spirit Link cards you have to do it you can do it from hand. Let me try. I'm trying to find it for us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm mostly focused on the artwork for this set. I haven't dived too deep into the mechanics of the TCG with the new Spirit Link and Union cards, but
Mm.
they feel pretty. They feel fairly easy to absorb.
Okay, so okay, yeah. Because to be fair, like the artwork obviously is gorgeous. Like this set visually looks really good. And I like the direction they went in, like with a lot of the art. Like it feels like the one at TCG, but they're also experimenting with new types of cards, which is really cool. So like that's the thing about that's really good is that everything feels like a visual spectacle, right?
Yeah, Ryuka, the artist, is definitely doing work.
He's
Like
cooking, bro.
just
He's cooking.
just breaking the borders too. I love that. I always like hone in on how cards can kind of like break that mold of staying
Mm,
within that kind of
yeah,
lines.
like it feels quite like the card itself feels very prominent because it's like, oh,
Exactly.
it's not just confined to the border. So I just quickly checked the spells. So all the Spirit Link cards, you need the Spirit Link type spell
Hmm.
to activate.
Hmm.
They all cost 1,000 life to activate, and you have to choose a champion on your stage and a handler in your hand. Then discard them to your graveyard to special summon your specific type champion, Spirit Link champion from your extra deck. The two discarded cards must be the prerequisite cards needed to summon the desired Spirit Link champion. So you need Jiro Ruler of the Golden Pendulum on your stage to summon it, which
Is hard to do.
yeah, because that card needs another card to summon itself. So it's like because I thought you could do it from hand, which like kind of makes them like oh you have this alternate value like you don't have to go for like all one strategy to get this card out. But now that you need to summon them, it makes these what's that called? These big champions like really like big payoffs, right?
Hmm. I mean, this gets
Yeah,
on the field.
you
It's kind of
basically
GG,
win.
right? Kind of.
That's what I was saying. Is that Giro? I think is a more of a win more card. Like you play it just to win. Like you win the second you put it on the board.
Yeah, the spell is not being affected is just great. I mean, there's nothing that's higher than 4,500 unless you combine it with some sort of spells to pump up your champion.
Yeah, unless you're buffing it or anything like that.
Yeah.
Giro, ruler of time, will not die. And the fact that like you can't like use a trigger card to save yourself or anything like that.
Yeah.
You could use it to save your champion, like the champion that died to Giro, but you can't use it to kill Giro, which most triggers do, like
Yes.
Legion and stuff like that. So this card feels really good. But like again, I think it's a win more card just because of the fact that like the two cards that you need to summon with it are pretty expensive. Like to get just Giro basically. If you get to get Giro out, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, it'll definitely be good in a time deck for sure though. If you just
Oh,
focus on
100%.
this,
Like
focus on getting this
yeah,
card out in the field.
yeah. I'm
In my
looking
opinion, at least.
the handler. It's not too bad. The time ruler's machine handler. Flip a coin. If lands heads, you special summon a time champion with a level of 5 or less from your hand or your graveyard. If it lands tails, discard your hand and draw a new hand. And your opponent can special summon a champion with level of 5 or less from their hand. This card can be activated once per turn. That got that got really flippy. But
It's
it
usually
went
how
from
it
like,
goes
oh,
in
that's a cool
reverse.
effect. Yeah, it went from like a really cool effect to like, oh god, if I lose this, that could just be game.
Yeah. Artwork kind of nice.
Yeah.
This machine in the background. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like, I love the fact that you can actually see Jiro in it. It's really cool.
It's perfect.
Or like, yeah, or like that new character. I don't like they didn't call him anything in the card, like Ren or something like that.
For set two.
No, it's in like on the time, like on the handlers we looked at, the Spirit Links we looked at before.
Mm-hmm.
Like the handler card isn't as a named card, like Milo's Fun, or on Felicia
Okay.
the Imaginer, Felicia's Courage, like they're named cards. Where this one is just the time ruler's machine.
Mm.
So I'm guessing the character on the handler art specifically is just the time ruler.
Yeah, it's good to see cards as themselves being connected to other cards. The
Yeah,
continuity is
that's
really
what.
good.
Yeah, I like the idea that you could see your spirit. Your spirit link is the handler usually, and then it morphs like by the champion that you put on it. It's really cool.
Of
It's
course.
really cool. All right,
Um,
should we go? Should we go for the next card?
I was gonna say, should we hop into some unions?
We can do if you want. I mean, I thought we were going to do it like just a category at a time, just like
Okay.
go through all of them and then
Well,
go for the
we'll
other
just
one. I don't mind
round
though.
out with the last four spirit links.
Mm.
Serrano the Exiled one. Serrano's Nightmares plus Karatos the Exile one. Each turn you pay 2,000 life points to banish one active champion on your opponent's stage. Additionally, if the banished champion is a dark type, you gain life equal to the opponent's for the equal to the attack points if it's light type. Draw one card. This effect can only be activated during your initial phase. Kind of cost
Mm.
heavy. Definitely
Cost heavy,
feels
but yeah, kind of
still
cost
good though.
heavy. And like, I think like the big question is that like it's also got 3,000 attack and defense, and it's dark. So the thing that's interesting to me is that like how many decks actually want to pay 2k life because you have to pay free. You have to pay a k one k life to get this out, and then like 3k, like 2k again on your next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's kind of sad about is that you have to wait one full turn. You have to wait to the end of your opponent's turn, then your turn to actually activate it, right?
More or
Oh no, you
less.
don't. Oh no, you don't. No, don't listen to me because your initial phase is your first main
Yeah.
phase. So you could summon it then and you like instantly activate it. Hmm. The dark thing, I like the dark and light thing though. I think that's quite fun. Like the fact that like, oh haha, if you're playing a light champion deck, I get more card value. Or if you're playing a dark like that, if you're playing a dark champion deck, I get more life. Right? I like that a lot. I think that's a quite like nice like little lore thing, or like a nice little like payoff. Like again, especially since like light champions are pretty popular. Like fully like Erica the Imaginary and stuff like that. Like they're quite popular already. So getting like additional value for people playing those cards is quite nice.
Same with Dark Champions. Mr. Dark
Yeah.
King himself.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you like the dark deck that you're running right now.
Yeah, like like I don't like the idea that that dog deck's gonna get cancelled out a little bit with this card.
Yeah.
Like it gets a tiny bit worse, but I think it's pretty right. Again, like good stat line. I think like removal, like we all know the value of a removal. So having a card that just is able to, even at a cost to kill something, is still valuable to some degree, right? Because you could like potentially like get the Keratos the Exiled one out to just like wait for it to like your opponent plays a menacing monster or champion, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get out your Sereno to kill it instantly. Like you just hold it.
Yeah, it's like a combo within itself when you're trying to get this card out itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Card looks great though.
Oh yeah, I like this one. I like that it's a different direction. Like it's a true like actual. It feels like he's exiled or he feels like a dark character. I quite like that a lot. Feels really good.
The next card we're gonna be looking at though is gonna be, I believe, a 101.
Okay.
Dahlia, the Goddess of Nature.
Oh yeah, no, there is a. I think there's a one of one. There's two. There's the regular version, and there's the one of one version, right?
I don't know. I'm
I
still
think
trying
you
to
can see
figure
on
out
the
what the
page.
101s are like.
I think the one of ones are the ones that got the stamp and the sign. Look, you can see it on the top, like on the top of the tab. Oh, it's still in the same spirit link. She's got the gold. She's a golden border, so the art's different.
Let's see. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so she's one that got both treatments.
But not Milo the Imagineer. Oh wait, no. Milo is in the Spirit Link, but it seems it's still the same card for the 1/1.
So I'm saying that he's a 101 but only, like he hasn't got both. Whereas like Dahlia, she got both treatments. She got a regular one and then the 101 treatment, right?
Very lucky. Very lucky.
Yeah, so like if you like this card a lot, you're most realistic you can get the regular one like somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean, she's very rare though.
SAR.
Yeah, so yeah, she requires Dahlia's Garden and the Forest Guardian Gaia for 2,000 attack and 1,800 defense, the lowest stat line we've seen so far, for a Cosmic Champion with. When this card is summoned through Spirit Link, you can add one Nature type champion from your graveyard to your stage. A champion that is destroyed by this card as a result of battle adds half of your attack champion's original attack points to your life points. When this card is destroyed, it is banished from play. Ooh. Yeah, so big life gainer. Big
That's
life
usually
gainer,
the
potentially.
concept of cosmic in nature almost.
Yeah, like I quite like that nature cards like gain you a bunch of life, especially with the. I think like I had like a little peek through the spells before we started.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot of them do gain a lot of life, so it's quite nice that this does. The only thing that I think we saw this card before, but the problem is that like sadly the attack is very low, so you need to put like quite a lot of resources to make it kill like a substantial number of things to gain their life back, right?
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. Because like again, like you have to what's it called? Like 2000 attack isn't that much for a spirit, like it's the lowest stat line I think for a spirit link out of all of them, maybe. I might be wrong.
I can double check.
Like it's one of the yeah, I think it is. It's one of the smaller ones. And then not only that, like we've seen regular champions like level 5s, like no level 4s, but level 5s are bigger than her.
It's interesting to see the different artwork for the 101 versus the regular.
I like the 101 more. I think that's a good sign where your 101 one looks a lot prettier. I like that one a lot. I like that the white roses like contrast to like the white background she has at the bottom, and I like that it's like a painterly look on it. Like she's not like in a forest anymore. She looks like she's in a painting or something. It's cool.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's really good.
The other card that I was looking at. This website's so massive. Sometimes you get lost in it. Just exploring.
I don't know if you the one that's it's gonna be the one that you talk about. But I love the kanji artwork ones, like the ones of like the actual Japan, like I think it's Japanese. I might be wrong.
I mean, like this one.
Yeah. I like those ones a lot. They look like it makes it stand out so much, and it's really cool. I don't know what I'm assuming it says the card name, but it looks really cool.
Andromeda, the Cosmic Goddess. I believe it combines 3.
Yeah, it needs Felicia's Courage, Erica the Imaginer, and Luminara Cyber Angel Guardian. Oh, Jesus. It needs a lot.
While on the stage, spell cards and champion effects cannot be activated. This card can only be attacked by Cosmic or Light type champions. This card attack and defense increase or decrease with the number of cards you hold in your hand times 1,000. You can banish this card from play from your stage in exchange for 2,000 life points. That's pretty nasty.
Yeah, I'm assuming they like did that effect so like if you want to activate spells, because it says no spells and spell cards and champion effects can't be activated, including your own. So like if you need for some reason, if you need a spell rather than this card, you can be like, okay, toss it away for 2k life, right? Ooh.
Plus,
now the stat line. Do we like the stat line or not? That's the real question.
I mean, if you're able to get at least 4 to 5 cards in your hand, you're golden.
Yeah.
Imagine getting 6 cards in your hand, just like not even playing anything, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna swing for 6k, because spells and champion effects can't be activated.
So you're like, I think if I'm not mistaken, the only champion effects are like Union and Spirit Links. So like no one can activate effects that pop this, and you can't activate spells to pop this because you can't even activate triggers now, right?
Right, and the only thing that can be attacked is cosmic or light type champions. And if this is like 6K, it's pretty much just on the field
That's
indefinitely.
the thing about. I think what they're trying to do with this card is that like once you get it out, it's very hard to beat because like you can't attack into it unless you're playing a light type deck or a cosmic deck. Which, to be fair, there are quite a bit of cosmic and light champions in this set, so it's
Yeah.
not that impossible. But then also on top of that, like if you can't attack into this, it slowly grows to the point where you outbeat them, and you can't like play like you can't do like a tricky play to stop it anymore. Like no, you're just out. So I think like it depends on like what Luminara the Cyber Angel Guardian is. But I'm assuming it's like some special summon champion. Let me find it. I'm gonna look for it real quick.
Let's see this champion Luminara right here. Special summon for sure. 3,200
Or am I just?
2,400.
Yeah, it is.
Defense.
Yeah, yeah. So like the real question is, how do you get her out? Because you need her out on the stage, right?
Let's take a look at the spells then.
Yeah. The question is which which ones it is. I wish they did like a they did like a thing of like when you click on a card, you could see the cards that make it.
They might have. I just didn't realize. Let me see.
I don't think it does, which is a bit of a shame.
Oh yeah, there's 2 alt arts for that card too, or 2 types.
Oh real?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Nice.
It's like a full art version right here.
Mm.
And then we have the more background-esque type of card.
Mm.
Let's see. Doesn't show. The spell card that it needs.
Yeah, I can't find it either. Which, by the way, like we can get onto it in a later, but I think the spell quality definitely like increased this set. There's a lot of really good spells, I think.
Definitely got a lot of spells too. I think we're looking at what? How many? Well, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24.
Yeah,
36.
Yeah, there's a lot. Again, like this set, there's a lot of cards in this set. There's a lot.
Looks like 60 already, 64, 68.
Mm.
Upwards of maybe 100 spells easily.
Yeah. There's a lot. You might find it later, but yeah, no, the fact that you need like this card costs a lot, but it's like very much worth it. Like it's very much worth it. Like this is very much a like if I get this out, I borderline just win. I borderline just win the game. All right.
That's true. Sorry, I'm like
that's
lost
a lot.
in the sauce with the spell cards.
No, same. I can go over like one deck that I'm very excited to play because of the spell list. Later on, because there's one deck I want to play. Then like the spell that they added a bunch of spells to the archetype, so I'm very excited to build it. But we can talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Let's see if we can round out a few more spirit links.
Yeah, I think the only non-kanji one we haven't looked at. There's like 4 we haven't looked at, or 5 actually. Oh wow, we haven't looked. There's a lot. Pick up the pace.
We got Arya the Dark Lord.
Ooh. Oh, this card looks. I love this card visually. What the hell? This card looks sick. I love the dark stroke effect on him. It looks really cool. I like this one a lot.
The flames are perfect too. That hand is massive.
Oh, I just got a DM. The creation of Luminaria is the spell you need to summon it. Okay. Which is this card can only be activated when you have 4 or more cards in your hand, including Luminaria's Cyber Angel Guardian. Tribute 1 active Cosmic type champion on your stage and discard your hand except Luminaria. summon Luminaria to your stage. Do not draw a new hand until your next turn. This card can be activated once per turn. So you have to like get rid of a card to get it out, right?
Not too bad.
Yeah, so you discard your hand, you play your Luminaria, then on your next turn, you get a new hand again. After the fact, it's like a delayed resummon effect, which is pretty cool. I think that's pretty interesting to do, like putting like a delayed effect on it. But again, I feel like once you get again like with that card out, and then getting another card out will be big. You win the game. But anyway, let's go back onto Arya, the Dark Lord.
So it combines Arya's Gambit plus Dark Lord Elgord.
Mm-hmm.
You can pay 1,000 life per turn to return one card from your graveyard to your deck and shuffle it. Dark type champions cannot engage in battle with this card. If this card is destroyed, return Dark Lord Elgord to your hand from the graveyard.
See, I like this card a lot. I think this will go straight into my dark champion deck, which would be quite funny.
I mean,
yeah. How do we feel about the shuffle effect though? Because we haven't seen anything like this before.
I mean, returning a card from graveyard is always a good thing, right? And shuffle, could be good or bad depending on what kind of situation you're in.
Because the thing about this that's quite interesting is that like you can almost view it as like kind of like trying to beat fatigue, like being out like running out of deck. Because like we've gone in a match now where you can run out of deck pretty easily, and considering that there's going to be more draw in this set, there's going to be loads of way. It's going to be quite easy to draw it out of your deck. So having this card just simply say like, oh, like if we're on the same deck limit, no, I'm gonna have more cards in deck now. It's pretty interesting. Oh, it's not a champion; it's any card. Oh, I thought it was champion. Oh,
yeah, return one card, so you could return spells.
Yeah, that's the power of it. I think return a handler or return a spell that you use to your deck. Oh god, that's scary. That's kind of freaky. I quite like that a lot. I like this card a lot. I think this card's really fun.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I can dig it. I like the art.
Can you imagine like?
That one.
Oh, I think this is like, besides like maybe Ren, Queen of the Ocean. This is probably one of my favorite Spirit Link cards art wise.
Our next one
like
will be the Ayana, the Arcanist.
Okay, what does that do?
Once on the stage, all non-cosmic type champion on your opponent's stage with a level over 5 cannot engage in battle. Additionally, once per turn, you can select one cosmic type champion on your stage, and it gains 200 attack points until the end of the turn. Pretty decent.
pretty solid. Like, because like we've seen like there's so much interaction with when your champions are attacked or being attacked. So it's nice that like this card just says no, like no interaction whatsoever, which is quite nice. Do we like the like cosmic? Like I like that it's kind of like it pushes cosmic to the point where like if you can outbeat me, this card says no. This card's like no, you can't beat me now. Like in terms of attack power,
especially since you need at least a level 5, more or less, for
to beat her in stat. Yeah,
or 23.
Yeah, it's a good like once if you play this like if your opponent hasn't set up yet and you play this is really good, but also like this is probably a lot better like when your opponent has set up and you could play this card, because we haven't seen, because I think that's quite interesting, we haven't seen a lot of Spirit Links that actually pop a card. Like a lot of cards that say pop a card are like what's it called, spells and stuff. So this card is really solid. I think really solid, especially in a cosmic deck anyway.
The dragon artwork's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I thought for a second this was a champion, like a dragon champion. I was like, oh god, this is a cool dragon.
Ayana's Wisdom, the handler card. And then
that's the bounce card, right, from set 1. The card that actually bounces. Yeah, pretty solid. Pretty solid. Nice.
We got next. Vera, Queen of the Undead. Oh,
I've seen this. I like this card a lot personally. This one's a really cool one. It's the
and Hela, Queen of the Undead.
It's our first ghost type. This is a new top. I think it's a new card type, right? I might be wrong, but
You're right.
yeah.
Let's see. Once per turn, send one card from your hand to the graveyard and negate the effects of all spell cards on your opponent's stage until the end of the turn. This card gains 100 attack points for each champion in your graveyard. If this card destroys an opponent's champion by battle, that champion is banished from play. Well, that's kind of nasty, actually.
Yeah, like this is a really big beat stick, and it's like a kind of like a grave hater card, which is really interesting because like we've seen there's a lot of ways to like mess around or negate your graveyard, like as in like interact with your graveyard. A lot of decks do want to and can do it. So seeing this card just say like, yeah, no, it's quite funny. Can you imagine you're like, oh, you're playing a graveyard deck? Yeah, no, bye bye.
I wonder if there's more ghost cards because I'm intrigued by this ghost type.
I think the card that Hela Queen of the Undead is a level 6 ghost type.
Okay.
Which isn't too bad. Like I think the one thing that's really strong is that send a card from your hand. Basically discard a card to negate all effects of spells.
You can discard a champion, right?
Yeah, you can discard anything. Yeah. Like it's like a better version of Zeke the Wind Guardian. It's like one card isn't worth 100 attack, I don't think, but one card is definitely worth once like negate all spells, right? Because imagine like you remember when you in the 1v1 we did, imagine if I like you could just be like, okay, I'm gonna toss this one card away to negate all your triggers. Can you imagine that?
I can just attack for free easily.
Exactly. So I think this is a really cool card. I really like the design of this card a lot personally. And the art is, oh boy, it's gorgeous. I love that.
Spooky.
I love the contrast of the red and green. Like the fact that like she has like a red cane, like that's a skull, but then has like the green like crown, like on the original character. I've seen the regular champion. It's like a gold. It's like actually like got a giant green sword and stuff. It's really cool. Visually, this one's really cool.
Set 2?
Oh no, yeah, they're both set 2 cards. Yeah.
Let's check it out then real quick before we go to the next card.
Yeah,
the next
card is
pretty nasty too.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get the handler. Yeah, Vera's Conviction. Once per turn, you can toss a coin. If it lands heads, negate the effects of all spell cards on your opponent's stage until the end of the turn. If it lands tails, negate the effect of all of your spell cards on the stage until the end of the turn.
Plus, getting Hela's the Queen of the Undead. Her it's about 7 costs. So you're looking at 2 cards to tribute.
Oh, she's a level 7.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot. Ooh. To be fair though, like I think, like the thing about that's not too bad is that like, you could easily put like graveyard interaction because that's the thing that I view with set 2, which is like, hopefully more people like if they see the VOD of this stream think about is that like there's a lot of ways to get champions out of your grave into play. We've seen like Dark Contract and Death Parade from set 1. Like they're gonna be your main ways because you imagine like instead of like with Hela Queen of the Undead, instead of summoning it normally like tribute 2 cards, you toss it away for like another card, like discard it or something. Then you play a card that brings it back out, and then boom, it's only 2 cards versus 3, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just overall, the best thing about set 2 is that with all these new mechanics and new cards that's been introduced, there's so much theory crafting.
Yeah, because like
kind of deck you want to build.
Yeah, because like the Spirit Link and then the Uni Champs we'll look at in a moment, they really give like a really good sense of like a direction for your deck. Mm-hmm. Because you kind of want to, because your deck now has like 2 directions of like what does the archetype want to do and how does your archetype get your champion out, right? So for example, with like Vera, Queen of the Undead, your first part is okay, how do I get Vera out? Like what's the easiest, most simplest line to get her out? And then okay, what archetype does she go in? Does she go in a dark champion deck? Does she go into a graveyard recursion deck? Does she go into a ghost only type deck? Like, do you see what I mean? Like,
No, yeah.
it gives you a great sense of direction for it.
This ghost type is definitely something that's intriguing me a lot.
I like that. I'll be quite.
Ghost. There's a lot more ghost champions now that I look at the champions more.
Oh, well, like in the in set 2. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility of making a ghost deck.
Yeah. It depends on like how many good level 4s and like 4s and belows they have. Because we've seen like, for example, Dark, right? The reason why you could build a Dark deck is because they have very good amounts of. They don't even have like a large pool of Dark champions, but also like a chunk of them have good stats for their cost, right?
Plus, before we move to the next Spirit Link, I do want to mention that there is one ghost type, 4 cost, 1600 attack, and the art looks pretty badass.
Which one?
Wait,
which one's is that one?
Revenant.
Oh, I think I let me pull up your stream. I might see it. Probably better to see it there. Oh yeah, that's sick. It's like some Taskmaster character. That looks cool. Exactly. That's cool as hell.
Pretty nasty.
I love it. I quite like when they go in the monster direction, or like in the direction where it's just not like like what's it called? What you expect? Yeah, yeah. It's really cool. It's really cool. Right. Yeah, but yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just gonna say like yeah. Overall, I think Vera, Queen of the Undead, potentially one of the stronger cards we've seen. Oh, honestly, like one of the like
since you can actually get it on the field.
It's not like that. It's not that unfeasible to get her out, and her effect is very strong. And plus, her stats are really good. Like the fact she's a stat buffer. She's a card that buffs her own stats, but then also just has a generically good stat line overall. So.
No, absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, let me know if you have a. I think you like this card a lot because of the binary angel aspect. So we got Lila, the final binary angel. Artwork alone is
I haven't actually.
Pretty nice.
I haven't actually seen this card. I haven't seen this card yet.
Combines Lila's excitement, Astra, Nightshade, and binary angel 000. This card cannot be destroyed by attacks, but damage is calculated normally during an attack involving the card of this. If this card is destroyed, you can special summon Astra Nightshade from your graveyard to your stage. Once on the stage, no champions can change battle positions, and handler cards cannot be activated. Wow, that's.
Wait, so wait, what? That's a lot. This card cannot be destroyed by attacks, but damage is calculated normally during attacks involving this card. Okay, so if you have a buff 4K, your champion Lila doesn't die, but you still take the damage.
But getting above 4K alone is gonna be a stretch.
It's gonna be a task. Yeah. If this card is destroyed, you can. I like this. Like, I kind of like the idea that like if you pop this card, you get a card out of it anyway for free. I quite like that call. And then I like the. Yeah, and I like the idea that, like, to get her out. What's it called? Once you get her out, she basically like hard locks the board. Like she says, like, oh, you have some attack champions that would preferably be in defense because of me. No, you can't switch now. I quite like that design. I think that's pretty cool.
Plus, if it does get actually destroyed, and you get Astra back on the field, handler cards be activated.
Yeah. And I think what I love the art. I like that this one's got like an abstract background on it. That's really cool. I feel like I'm quite interested to see like is there ways to get binary angels out in this set? Because we saw in set 1, binary angels were like the Exodia type effect.
Yeah, let me see if they're in promos or structure decks, but I'm pretty sure
I saw there's one Union champion, I believe, that actually interacts with binary angels, like specifically. But I'm intrigued to see like there's any more like because I remember there's the shenanigans I used to do, which was I think you've seen that deck firsthand, which was I discarded my binary angels to bring them out, like using like Death Parade and stuff. So like if that's probably the main way you get this card out, I'm not too sure. But again, like I like this card. I mean, this card's again, I think it's a bit of a win more card because of like how much you need to get out, right?
I think it is feasible to get it out though. I don't know if Binary Angel 000 is from set 1 or not.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
So if I remember correctly, Binary Angel 0, you need a spell that like, because if you remember, there was the 5 base Binary Angels, and then there was Binary Angel 0, and you needed a like kind of like Jiro, you need like a big combo spell to get her out. So it's like you need a big combo spell to get her out, and then you need like the other 2 cards, which I'm assuming they're new cards now from set 2, to get her out again. What's it called? So it's going to be quite interesting to see like how actual difficult this is. I think this again, it's a bit of a win more card because once you get out, it's pretty strong. Someone put in chat. Oh, it's actually the Wonderland team. Someone said something in chat. If you want to look at that real quick.
Hey, Wonderland TCG, what's going on? How about the binary block spell card? Let's see what we got.
It's probably this is where we go on the hunt. If you have the name of the card, that would help like tenfold. If you get.
Nope.
Have you found it?
That's not working.
Because I'm trying to. I'm looking for the spell now. Because if it probably is called binary something, right? What's it called?
Binary block.
What? Oh, oh, that's like the actual name. Okay. What does it do?
It's active on the stage. All champions with the word binary in the title cannot be summoned or special summoned by any player. Oof.
Oh, okay.
Targeting. This art's really cool.
Yeah, visually it looks really cool. This is where like my binary angel deck just gets like a hard like oof, like it's tanks.
Completely negated.
It's like no.
Unless you can destroy the spell card, there are some options to do that though.
I like that this card like it's a specific hate piece card. So you could like sideboard it or something, but like isn't like when you go against an opponent. I don't know if sideboards actually exist in this game. They do. I'm mistaken. You could like if you're going against a binary angel deck, somehow in round 2 of the match, you could be like, okay, let me just sideboard in a binary block, like switch it in, which is quite funny. And I like that you don't have to pay life for this effect. Like it's a very specific hate piece. So it's just like yeah, no.
Easily good to go.
The question I'm curious about is that binary block obviously stops binary angel from coming out, but does it stop the does it stop the spirit link?
I'm not too sure
because
I know.
Oh, no, because it is a bite.
Yeah.
It's a because because I'm checking. Look, Lilia, the final binary angel. So this will So yeah, it will. Yeah, exactly. So you can't even send out your Leela at this point if it comes out.
This is kind of
pretty funny.
You just kind of maybe need 1 or 2 of in your deck to kind of get around anyone who's playing binary decks.
Yeah, I would honestly like. I would sideboard and like up in my side deck. Do you know about sideboard, Bella, or not really?
I know I haven't dived too much into the sideboard side deck kind of thing yet.
Yeah, so it's basically like you bring your base deck and then you can bring like a small stack of cards that like because usually when you play a match you do a best of 3. So whoever wins 2 matches out of the 3. And in your the first match you play with your base deck, and then in the second and third match, you can before the game starts, you could choose a bunch of cards to swap out and stuff.
Right. And then the side deck, I believe it's 15 cards or
that's the extra deck, yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, the sideboard specifically, because you can't interact with the sideboard once the game starts. Besides like that deck switching stuff, is I think it's like 10. Usually it's 10 cards. So you're like, okay. So you could be like, okay, I'm going to bring some soft hate. So, like, I don't have to waste a slot in my main deck for it. But if I do go against it, I have cards to swap out for it, right?
Right.
So, like, in your sideboard, I can see this being like a 2 or 1. Because you'd be like, oh, that one time I do play against Binary Angel. Bye-bye. If I'm not playing against Binary Angel, I'm not, like, losing a spot. Yeah.
Wonderland over here saying yes, it does. So looks like we got some agreement here.
Yeah, because they were saying like, because I was asking, does Lilia not is she a binary angel herself? And she is, so you can't like binary block stops her from being summoned.
It's a good one, definitely for sure.
Yeah, again, I think personally, Lilia is like a win more card, like really strong, like pretty hard to beat, and like once you get it out, it's like solidifies the game for you, which is like do you personally think that's really good, or do you like value like just more value oriented cards?
I think the effect itself kind of has some control, um,
Mm,
especially since you can just keep swinging for 4K
mm,
and not have to worry about being destroyed, even if they're
yeah,
like in defense position or whatnot. But
yeah.
if his card is destroyed, you can get your card back Astra the Nightshade, which is one that you need, and handler cards cannot be activated. So from then on, you just need to get back Lilo's Excitement and then Binary Angel, and then you just go all over again if you have multiple copies of this card in your deck.
All right, so you're saying like this card potentially, like once you get it out, you could summon it multiple times in the game, realistically.
Yeah, as long as you
Ah,
have the other two components, Lilo's Excitement and Binary Angel, then you're kind of
zero,
screwed
yeah,
because Astra will come
yeah.
back on the stage, and if you have a possibility of getting Lila's Excitement and Binary Angel again,
Like, oh boy.
then you're back. Then you just need a Spirit Link card to get it going.
Yeah, because like it'd be quite interesting to slot this in a binary angel deck. Like, because like you could just be like, yeah, like because you're gonna be that deck's like naturally is controlly because you want to try go for the I have all five binary angels for the win.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be like, I'm going in this pure control archetype, and oh, if the stars align and I maybe want to pivot to a different strategy, I'm gonna go for the Lilia, the binary angel play, right? Do you see what I mean?
Right.
Like you could like you have the potential to pivot in that deck, so it'd be pretty cool to see.
No, I agree. Let's see what we got left with Spirit Link.
I think we have two more cards left, and then we can move on to unions.
I believe you are right. We might have three
Because
actually.
oh, is there three? Oh, sorry.
So I'm gonna
Because
go
I
with the
see,
bottom one first.
yeah. Because again, the layout of the site's different for both of us, right? So
Yeah, it changes every time you click it, I believe.
yeah.
So we have
So which one are we
Asami
looking
the
at?
Infernal Dragoness.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Asami's Pride plus Infernal Scarlet Dragon. Once on the stage, all non-dragon type champion on your opponent's stage with level over 5 cannot engage in battle. Additionally, once per turn, you can select one dragon type champion on your stage, and it gains 300 attack points until the end of the turn. Pretty good.
So this,
Definitely a dragon
so
deck.
this is, yeah. So this is Ayana, the Arcanist for dragons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it does the same. Like you can't champions level or
5.
wasn't it? Five or high level higher than five that aren't dragons can't attack.
Mm-hmm.
And then does a stat buff thing. I think this card's really good. I think this card's really solid, especially since that dragons are getting a bunch of support this set. I think this card's really solid.
It's great artwork.
Since
Too.
yeah, I like this like direction of like she's like this mecha dragon type deal. I think that's really cool.
It's like a phoenix almost.
Yeah, and I think isn't Infernal Scarlet Dragons from set one, right? That's the card you
I,
use.
I believe I might have used that one. I
Yeah,
wasn't sure
yeah,
though.
yeah. And it's like I think we've seen. We could look at handlers at another point, but I think like this card is pretty solid. Like dragons again are like with the context of dragon getting a bit more support in this set.
Mm.
This card like does look really solid. Like a stat buff feels really good. This card negates fact like attacking.
Especially since dragon might not be a very popular type of deck in itself. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I think it will get more popular now because like again I think they pushed like a bunch of dragon support cards in the set. So yeah. Are you looking at Asami's Pride?
I was trying to, yeah.
I found it. It's like a guy on a white hoodie type in a handler slot. We can look at the handlers after the fact if you like, or we can look at it now. I'm looking on your stream. I think it's silver border. I know there's a lot of silver border cards, but hopefully that helps you.
You're right.
Yeah. So do you want me to read it out, or do you want to read it out?
It's a nice artwork. You can read it out. I'm just staring
Yeah,
at
so
this
it's
artwork.
like free share. Toss a coin. If heads, select one champion on your opponent's stage and banish it until the end of your opponent's next turn. If tails, select one champion on your stage and banish it at the end of your turn. If you control a cosmic type champion or a dark type champion on your stage, ignore the coin toss. If tails, the card only be used once per turn. Oh, okay, quite interesting. I'm intrigued by like it interacts with the dark champion and the cosmic champion thing. Like, because like if you got to put this in a drag, if this makes a dragon champion, like it would obviously like be too synergistic. Maybe like if it was Kmart champion, like it's like if you have a dragon champion, ignore the tails result. But honestly, not too bad because the thing about that's quite interesting is that you lose it for a turn. Yeah, and in some matchups, like you kind of wouldn't mind that because you get it back, right? Because you're just like, okay, I lose my dark dragon champion, but then I get it back, which then can be used later.
This
Right?
art looks
See what I'm
really
saying?
cute. I don't know what that's on his head. Sorry, I'm like distracted by the art.
He's got like a little, like, they got like a little like puppy like plushy thing. I want to know what this dune buggy thing is. Like my man's zooming.
It's pretty adorable.
Zoom. Yeah. But back on the actual like Asami, the Infernal Dragoness. I think that's a pretty solid card, especially for Dragon decks. Like, doesn't require too much resources to summon, which is really good for the deck. And it's like you're not paying a lot for quite a bit. Like, do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not a lot of resources, but you do get something out of it, right?
No, it's true.
And I think we only have one more, right? I think the only one we haven't looked. Oh, two. Sorry, Jadora's Starbreaker and
Starbreaker, and another one,
and then Ayana, the Solar Voyager.
You want to read this one?
Yeah, I'll read Jadora. So Jadora, the Starbreaker is 3,800 attack and 1,900 defense. Level 9 for Jadora's assessment and Galactos, the Starbreaker for the Light Champion. Once per turn, you could banish one card from your graveyard and target one champion on your opponent's stage. That target loses 100 attack for every Cosmic type champion in your graveyard until the end of this turn. This card gains 100 attack for each in your graveyard. Cosmic type champion in your graveyard, sorry.
I think it's a slight typo too. Loses.
That target loses 100 attack points for every cosmic champion in your graveyard. I quite like this. I think it's interesting that like you get like a big stat buffer, and then like to do its other bonus effect, you have to do like what's that called? You have to what's that called? Remove your buffer cards like in your grave, right? Because you have to like you're getting buffed by cards in your grave, but then like to use this bonus. Yes, you just slice in a cosmic deck, right?
Yeah, but it's a light card too. Very interesting.
Interesting on the nice. Like yeah, I like Jadora's assessment we've seen from set 1 is really good.
I love that
like,
card. I know you love it.
It's my god, it's so good. To steal a card for free, or like usually you don't have anything on board to give.
Yeah, give up. It's basically play for free.
Take remove, so it's like yeah, like it's not. There's no like the only downside is if you just don't get the effect. So I quite like that. Like sometimes, like if you're ahead, you could just save your Jadora's assessment. Because that's the thing about these handlers that's pretty interesting is that like now we have to make that conscious decision of like, okay, do we save it or do we use it, right?
Right.
Because sometimes like you can't just be like, oh, I'll use this one now and hopefully draw a new one. Like sometimes you need to save it because you need another card on top of you need the champion, the handler, and then the spirit link, card to summon it. So it's gonna be interesting to see like how people like decide like when to summon it in and out, right?
It'll be nice to see, at least depending on the situation.
Yeah.
All right, we got our final card, Ayana Solar Voyager.
I like this art a lot. I can read this one. I like this one. I will say the artwork. It looks like like Josuke from JoJo's. Like the because it's just the trim. The color trim looks quite similar. But yeah, Ayana the Solar Voyager, a 3,800 attack, 4,000 defense Solar champion, level 10. It requires Ayana's Wisdom, Zion the Guardian of the Sun, and then Lumix. Once per turn, you can select one face down spell card and destroy it. When you initiate an attack with this card, you can discard 2 Solar type champions from your hand to double this card's attack point. If successful, this card is returned to your extra deck at the end of your turn. Oh,
That's
so
crazy.
if you want to go for the closed game, you
Yeah,
just discard 2 Solar champions and then go for it, right?
pretty much. And you can destroy spell cards each turn.
Oh yeah, you don't have to pay a cost. You could just be like, okay, face down, bye bye.
So if you choose properly too, it could definitely help. And it just cuts all their resources.
Yeah, you just bye bye. No more trigger cards for you.
Double
Which
the
also
attack is nuts though for that ability.
that's what 7,600, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
7,600.
Yeah, so at that point, by the time this game card comes out, it's probably later in the game. So it's
Imagine
sorry,
swinging 76 at face.
you're okay, die. No, this card see the thing about this card that's interesting to me is that this is obviously it requires a lot of resources to get out because we have I think Zion, the Guardian of the Sun. He's in the structure deck. He's a special summon card again. So you need a card of special summon in or out to get Ayana the Solar Voyager out. I don't know about Lumix though. I think I'm assuming that's a champion.
Yeah, it's a 3-cost champion. It's also.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So that's even better. So what I'm saying is that Ayana the Solar Voyager, right, requires a lot of resources, but unironically, if you can hold 2 Solar champions in your hand, this card wins the game potentially, because we have to factor in that a lot of people are going to be building Spirit Link decks, and Spirit Link decks you need to pay 1,000 life to activate them to get them out, right?
Yeah. Plus, looks like Zion, the Guardian of the Sun, is a special summon.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying earlier, is that he requires another card to get him out. And I think that's in the structure deck. But what I'm saying is that it requires a lot of steps, so it links closer to those win more cards we saw earlier. But this card specifically can win the game, on the spot.
Oh yeah.
The question is,
they don't have any. They don't have any. What's it called? Any if they don't
champions
have
on
any
board.
champions on the board, or even if they have a champion but it's not as strong, and there's no spell
Yeah.
type, to trying to get away with it, they'll always be in defense mode, right? So you're just easily crushing alone until you can double the attack, because they essentially need to put a champion on the field. But every turn you're destroying a spell card as well as hitting.
Yeah. You're hitting them for 3,800 and killing a spell every turn.
Yep.
Because that's the thing that's a bit crazy, is that it just pops a spell for free. We know triggers are
need to attack, because you'll have other champions to attack for you instead.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, is that because of the high stat total, this card breaks through a lot of boards, quite easily, and then as well pops a card that could potentially save you. Granted, obviously it doesn't kill spells, but we know, and we don't know if triggers are still going to be as powerful from set 1 into set 2, because the thing that's going to be interesting for deck building is seeing how many cards you have to start putting in to make your extra deck champions versus good cards for your deck, right?
Because
you need to
in order to summon Zion, the Guardian of the
Sun. Oh yeah.
It does require your life points to be less than or equal to 3,000.
Oh, okay.
So it will take some time to get it out of the field.
Yeah. Yeah, naturally. But I like the designer's card. I think it's really cool. I like the idea this card has a little bit of value, I don't want just value on its own, but then has the ability to just potentially discard 2 cards, win the game, right? I like that quite a lot design wise. I think that's really cool.
And that wraps up our Spirit Links.
I wanted to ask quickly, out of all the Spirit Links, which one's one, what's your visually favorite one? like out of like just on the top of your head? And two, which one do you think you would most likely build a deck around?
Visually, Milo the Imagineer.
Ooh, okay,
I
that's a cool
mean,
choice.
if it wasn't a 101, it'd be more attainable. But in general, this card visually
Yeah,
is. I love breaking
really good.
borders completely. This is just
Yeah,
that
our
card.
first borderless card.
Yeah, that card is gonna be so good to find.
Mm.
Outside of that, there was playing wise. Where was it? I was very intrigued by Vera, the Queen of the Undead. Just in general, the new Ghost
Yeah,
archetype.
yeah,
I would probably
no,
try to make a Ghost deck esque type of thing.
yeah, or like a graveyard like synergistic deck because this card interacts with your graveyard quite a bit.
I think Ghost
Or
in
like
Dark probably would do well with that, maybe.
yeah, or like you put it like in a deck that like wants to put cards in your grave
Yeah.
to for other effects, right? Because she technically is like a free discard every turn, which is really strong.
Yeah,
Not
your
really
deck
strong, but it's really
actually
good.
is pretty well combined with this one. The one that you were using
Yeah.
for the Dark deck.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Because
What
there's a
about
lot
you?
of like
What's your favorites and something that you want to
so
build?
yeah. So visually, I think my favorite one will have to be. Oh, I think mine's going to be Ayana, the Solar Voyager, the card we just looked at. I love the color scheme of this one a lot.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the mech like aesthetic that they've got on it to like signify like the stat booster thing, and then like that nice color shade of orange, blue, dark blue is really nice. Plus, like I like that it's breaking the border, and then like the kanji text on it is really cool. I think that's really good. And as for a card I would build around, I think my top choice will be Ren, Queen of the Ocean. I've got really excited for a water deck for a very long
Yeah.
time.
I remember you
But
mentioned that with me.
yeah, and war in set one obviously wasn't that strong. Not obviously, sorry, like it just wasn't that strong of an archetype because it wasn't fleshed out too much. Because they had to like like expand on light and dark type. But now that war is getting like a full fledged archetype, I think this one's Ren, Queen of the Ocean, and like a war deck in general looks really solid. Like they're just got good interactions with each other.
It's good
So I'm
artwork
excited.
too.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
Very Atlantis type.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I
Let's
just
go to unions real quick.
yeah. No, we got a
I'm
lot.
gonna
We have a lot of cards. I just realized. Oh god, long
I'm gonna
stream.
say let's do 3 because I believe we need to round out the stream.
Oh, okay, that's all
And then
good.
we can always pick this up on another live stream next week or
Oh, you can
something.
do yeah. Yeah, we can do yeah.
And then let's see here. I'm gonna go with what is your favorite that you've seen so far. So we'll both choose one, and then we'll choose a third one. Oh, we'll choose one, and then we'll choose 2 each. We'll choose 2 each. We'll do 4.
Yeah, I'll let you do your choices first if you like. Give you that.
I'm still wondering
Or do you want me
on
to
what the
choose?
second one is gonna be. If you want to go
Yeah.
first.
I think one card. I think so. The real question is, how do you actually get these cards out? Right. That's the thing I'm quite curious on. Because do you need? I don't know if one land TCG that you guys are in the chat, um, still or not. I want like if you can answer that question, that'd be quite nice. Because I believe, if I remember correctly, they're both champion cards that are required to make the card, and there's not like a spell right that makes union champions, or is there?
Or is the union card the spell itself?
Oh, is there? That's
Maybe.
what I'm trying to
I
ask.
don't know.
That's that's what I'm asking. Is it like a is it a spirit? Is the card like Spirit Links, where you need another card to summon it, or is it like, oh, I could just have the champions on board, then go for the summon, right?
Okay, yeah. Wonderland says there is a union spell card.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm trying
So
to find it
similar to
now.
Spirit Links then.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like unlike Spirit Links, you don't. It's not like I'm assuming it's not type based, or is it type based? Because I'm trying to find the card now. Because it'd be good to like let's look over that card and just go over like how we feel about Union champions as a whole, maybe. Because like the dynamic of having 2 champions change it quite a bit, right?
Well, there's also probably champions that you can interchangeably use as Spirit Link or Union type. I'm already noticing that
Yeah,
it's a possibility.
yeah. I'm trying to find the. Oh yeah, I found it. Union of Champions. It's a union spell. Choose 2 or more active champions on your stage and discard them to the graveyard to special summon your union champion from your extra deck. The discarded cards must be the prerequisite cards needed to summon your desired union champion. It's already yeah, it's like I'm assuming like this is the only union spell, which is quite interesting. Like
You can only do
because
it
then
three
like
times then.
yeah, I mean to be fair, it's the same as Spirit Link because let's be honest, like if you're running like multiple types of Spirit Links in your deck, that could potentially work if they all like synergize with each other. But it's a lot of resources of your deck to like just make the cards, right?
Yeah,
So
what
it's quite
Matt
interesting
said,
about
no,
that.
you just need the champs on board.
Yeah, so you need your champions on your stage to summon them, which again is quite interesting. I think Spirit Links in that regard might be a bit better, maybe easier to summon. Sorry, not better, but easier to summon because you need only one card on the board, one champion on the stage, one hand in your hand, and then the Spirit Link card. Whereas this, you need both champions on your stage and the Union card. So it's a bit it's interesting, like to figure out like which one's actually better.
No, yeah, it makes sense completely. So you can only
Hmm.
have. So essentially, if we're talking gameplay wise, you can only do Spirit Link 3 times, and you can only do Union 3 times if you're able to do it until its maximum potential.
Yeah, like out like what's it called? In your base deck without any specific like interactions or changes, you could do it 3 times. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's also
Yeah.
interesting that the Union Champion spell doesn't require life
Mm-hmm. So it's a little
compared
bit
to
easier.
yeah, like I think personally I think it's a little bit harder because we've seen like how difficult sometimes it is to keep 2 champions on your stage at the same time, right?
Mm.
So it's going to be interesting to see like okay, you need to play a champion, wait 1 turn, play another champion, then unionize them, right?
Yeah. Plus,
So it's
I'm
a
usually like always attack happy, so I might not attack if I have the champions on the field if I'm trying to unionize them or Spirit Link them.
yeah. I mean, we've seen we don't have to go into detail too much about, but I've seen like a couple spells that there's spells obviously that bring champions back up from grave, but also there's a bunch I think there's not a bunch. There's a few spells that protect champions while on the stage that they can't die.
Mm-hmm.
So you could potentially run a lot of those, which is like again if we could do it on another stream or something another time. Look at them.
No, yeah, of course. Uh, but we should hop into one Union card if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I've got
What
mine.
what choice you got?
Okay, so I'm gonna pick one that's quite like I'm excited for. I mean, I alluded to it earlier. Binary Star Commander. Uh, level a
10.
yeah. So there's two. Oh, there's 2 artworks. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's the one where she's like sleeping in roses and stuff.
And one just trying to be all powerful.
Oh, quickly, there is actually a other union spell, but it's specific though. So there's Marriage of
Okay.
the Sun and the Moons, which gets with Zion, God of the Moon, and Dion, God of the Moon, activate on your stage to special summon its specific champions. We could look at that one maybe,
Yeah, of
potentially.
course.
But yeah, no, I picked Binary Star Commander. So 3,400 attack, 3,000 defense. It's a Cosmic 10 level 10 champion that needs Starline, the Cosmic Soldier, and Binary Angel #1. Once on your stage, you can special summon one Binary Angel champion from your hand to the stage. This card is unaffected by spell cards, and all players cannot summon any Cosmic champions of this card is on your stage.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah, so the reason why I picked this card was because like it gives the Binary Angel deck an alternate win condition, right?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people like I met someone online who wanted to build the Exodia deck, where it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go for the win there. I mean, that's cool and all, but what happens if you can't get that? And what if your opponent outraces you in the champion department? So it's quite
Also,
interesting to give like. Oh, sorry, carry on.
no, I was just say one quick addition is the fact that when you play this card for the Union, you also get another Binary Angel champion if you have it in your hand. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's really nice that the fact that like you can now pivot to like, okay, I'm not gonna get the I don't really want to go for the let's go for the Exodia play. Let's go for the summon these big beaters play because I think if I'm not mistaken, all the binary angels they're like the binary angel 1 is 3,000 attack and 0 defense, and then they all going down in increments of 500. So it's like they're not that bad stat lines. Honestly, their stats are really solid.
Which artwork do you like better?
I personally like the Roses artwork. Personally, I think that one I like only because I kind of like the composition and the lighting of it a bit more. So I like the idea like how the character is like posing.
Dark.
Yeah, and I like the rose petal like it's going on in the background. It's really cool.
Resting after battle.
Yeah, exactly. Like I like the idea that she's like dreaming, and then like all the binary angels like come down to protect her. That's pretty funny to think about.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
We're looking at all these cards. I just want to open this set so badly.
No, what we need to do is when the set goes live, we should do like a build stream or something,
Yeah,
or like a build video where we like open the set live and then build decks straight out of the box or something. That would go fun to do.
Of course, I'm always down to do that.
Yeah,
it's all
and then
fun.
So again, like I think this card has it's quite cool to give like an old archetype or like a not old but like a previously established archetype like a new set of tools, like a new direction to build upon. So it's really cool. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, one of the cards I've chosen is gonna be like that. It'll definitely be nice to bring that up.
Yeah. All right. What's your card?
You go first with your two choices. I'm saving mine for the ending. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'm gonna go with my favorite card of the entire set. You already know this card. Knight of the Golden Bloom. Artwork phenomenal. Features
absolutely gorgeous
from set 1, the Lyrian Knight plus Bloomtron Angelus. And once this is unionized, each turn you can discard one solar type champion from your hand to select one champion on the stage to send to the graveyard. If this effect is activated, you cannot activate any spell cards during the same turn. So, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I can essentially have one champion card in my hand, play my spells first.
Yeah, then do this effect. Yeah, it's a good like level. That's pretty good sequencing. I think the thing that's interesting with Solars, I like the idea that the Solars, I like the theme, like honestly, of like they are more of they discard themselves for costs. I think that's really cool. The thing that's going to intrigue me is how many Solars are actually in the game, because I know there's only a couple from set 1. And I'm just going to quickly, like, personally, I'm just looking through real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple. The side deck, there's one. There's Zaun, the Guardian of the Sun. That's already in the set. So it's going to be interesting.
Deck around this guy, of course.
Yeah, I think like
getting copies of this will be tough.
Yeah, but I think more interestingly is like Solar like has the potential to be a deck because we've seen like if you get the new Solar champion and then the Solar champion from set 1, there's a lot of cards already like there to discard, and then we've seen like one spell Day of Ragnarok that wipes all the board except Solar champions. So there's definitely a list. There's definitely like a deck potential for it.
Is it Day of the Ragnarok or is it Wrath of the Ragnarok?
I think it's Wrath of Ragnarok. That sounds more correct.
I have that card. That card is nice.
Yeah, so I think this card is very solid. Like again, trading one card for a pop is really solid.
Exactly.
And just being like, yeah, no. free card, free pop, and then swing. Good stat line as well. Like
3K. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, can't go wrong 3K, yeah. 100%.
I feel like it's not super difficult to get this card on the field too.
Yeah. It depends on Bloomtron Angelus, what that card is. I haven't seen that card yet.
I can take a look real quick before we go to your next card for the Union.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now as well.
Bloomtron. I don't remember that in set 1, so it's definitely something in set 2.
Oh, is it a set 1 card?
I don't remember it in set 1. Bloom.
Hmm.
I love that we have access to all the cards on the website. Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah, let me see on
The
your
mech
screen.
card. Interesting.
What level is it?
Level 6. So it would require a
Ooh,
tribute summon.
ooh, ooh. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, because I can see the sequence of play being a bit awkward. Like you have to play both, and you know what would be quite interesting? I think would be a fun deck is doing a what's what microphone? A discard resurrection deck with this archetype. Because like you have a lot of cards I want to you discard all your solo champions and then you bring them back out again.
That's true.
Which is like pretty cool. So like, that definitely is a deck list, I think. You could definitely build a deck around that. Because then you have a lot of slots for like generic cards as well. Yeah, definitely a good card. Right. I was gonna say quickly, I was gonna pick a card that I haven't seen before, but I feel like I need to pick a card that I want to build. So I want to go on a tiny tangent on
Of course.
it. So the card I want to talk about for the Unions champions is the Echo Mecha Omega line.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
The line I'm most excited for. So we'll go. The one that I think is a lot easier, but I feel like both are pretty simple, is Echo Mecha Omega. 3,500 attack, 3,500 defense, mech. Once per it requires alpha, beta, gamma, and delta for the Echo Mecha, so 4 champions.
Mm-hmm.
Once per turn, you can roll a pair of dice. If one of the dice rolls a 6, you choose one mech type champion from your graveyard and special summon it. If you roll a double 6, special summon one champion from your hand to your stage.
A lot of effort
So
with the dice roll, but pretty good ability.
Yeah. So the thing that was interesting to me, like I was leaning into before, is that we're seeing more dice rolly cards in this set. So like in the spell slot, I think there's like 2, and then there's like a handler, which interests me in like building this as an archetype, as the dice rolly archetype. I think in the spell they're all expeditions, like jungle expedition. There's one called CE Runes Expedition, which you roll a dice, draw cards equal to the dice rolled, and then you discard until you have 5 cards. And then there's another one that's like Jungle Expedition, which lets you you roll a pair of dice, and then you what's that called? You place your hand on top of your deck, you shuffle equal to the result you rolled, and then you draw a new hand. Right. So again, like pretty synergistic, pretty interesting. And then like
the ability to, it's kind of like almost a safer handler card, but you're just dice rolling.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like Zeke's Intrigue, but with no like you always get to do the get a new hand thing, which is pretty strong, right? You don't discard, but it's still pretty strong.
The artwork on this is nice too, and I know there's another Echo Mecha card that is a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. The Echo Mecha Omega battle mode, which requires all the other Echo Mechas, and I think you need a spell to get her out. But she basically has this card can be special summoned by spell card, the Ritual of the Battle. Once per turn, you could discard 1 card to destroy 1 spell card on the stage. If this card is destroyed by battle, draw 2 cards from your deck. And the fun part I like is additionally, dice rolls receive a +1 value when you roll when active. So if you roll like let's say like a 4, it increases to a 5.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I like this. I have a graveyard special summon deck that like special summons champions pretty easily. I might, if I get enough of the Echo Mecha cards, I want to swap it out for the Echo Mecha package and build like a full on like I summon my up because if I'm not mistaken, the miniature parts are all level 5s because they're pretty hard to get out.
So it's like that almost Exodia type thing where you need all those parts.
Yeah, to actually get it moving, and that can be pretty difficult. Yeah, they're all 5 level 5 2Ks attack and defense.
Yeah.
So they're pretty hard to get out, and they're not great stat line wise, which is why like I'm thinking about putting in a deck where like you have a bunch of cards that can easily summon them out. If you like summon them from grave or summon them through your deck, stuff like that. So yeah, I think a fun deck. I don't think it's very strong, but I think it's very fun. Like I think it's a fun deck.
Quite fun. I agree.
Yeah. Plus, I like the nature / Gundam aesthetic they went for. Like it's a little bit. It looks like
the battle mode is really nice.
Yeah, I like that they switched it from like a silver border to a gold one to like fully like lift it up.
It fleshes it out more with the background design. I like it, but
yeah,
the Echo Omega itself is also a good design because one, it still breaks the borders as well as has that little cute companion almost.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it looks funny. Yeah. You know, I think personally, I think Echo Mecha Omega is the stronger one because one, it's a lot easier to get out, and two, like it synergizes with the deck that I like. It synergizes as well because you can potentially get your Echo Mechas back out again,
right?
Which would be pretty fun. I wish this card had the dice plussing thing. Like the easier one to get out has the interaction with the dice roller stuff, but
for the battle mode.
Yeah, like I wish like the like this one interacts like this rolls dice, which is pretty fun. But I like the idea that it rolls dice and like boosts your dice roll. Might be a bit too strong because the problem is that like I don't think you can have both out. I think that's like magical Disneyland. Like if you have both out. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's round out with our last card. I mean, there's just so many good ones, but I was gonna choose one that was also something that we were discussing. I'll show the card now. This Perpetua, Ruler of Cosmic Time.
Yeah.
So it combines Jiro, Ruler of the Solar, Golden Pendulum, and then Erica the Imagineer. So there are also Spirit Link cards that combine those two champions. So it's kind of like you can go either direction with those two cards. You can go Spirit Link or Union, and it still is like kind of like a help you with the win con for the game.
Yeah.
So this card's attack and defense are calculated based on the number of Cosmic type champions in your graveyard times 300. This card can only be attacked by your opponent if they reduced your life points by 500 or banish 2 cards from the top of their deck from play. Level 10 special summon. I mean, artwork alone is probably the most crazy that I've seen with the
combination. Yeah, visually this one looks insane.
Combines Erica and Jiro pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing that's interesting to me, like the fact that you brought up, is that like I think you put this in like the same deck as the other one, right? The ones that use it, because then you give your deck options, like you give your like the ability to like because like the one thing that can be like pretty annoying with these new cards potentially, I think it's making it fun but like interesting, but it can be potentially annoying that like let's say you draw 2 of the pieces, but you're missing 1 more. You're like but I can't do anything without the other pieces, right? I have to figure out, do I want to use those cards or do I want to hold them off and protect, right? And save them. So, like, giving your deck the ability to go into multiple different cards can be quite fun.
Yeah, the options in the deck are always good because you're not restricting yourself. So, it's good.
Right, yeah. Like, you're giving yourself the ability to, like, pivot if need be, or like, okay, I can't make my Master of Time, but I can make this card instead.
Exactly.
You know, I think again, like I mean, it's quite. I like the idea of like it's being a stat changer thing, like it's constantly modulating its stats. It's pretty cool, and I like the idea that this has some interaction with your opponent. Like the opponent has to make a difficult choice of like banishing 2 cards or paying life, right? And like they don't feel like as taxing per se, but they do feel like what's it called, significant downsides.
Yeah, especially since cards being banished from play. If you banish 2 cards that you need to win.
Oh, it's banished from graveyard, right? Oh, from
No,
your deck. Sorry,
from the top of the deck
your
from
deck.
play. So either way, you're winning when this card's on the field.
Oh wait, better.
Banishes it from play.
No, it
Their
banishes
turn.
from the top of their deck from play.
Yeah,
So it just banishes the top 2 cards from your deck.
right. But if you, who knows what 2 cards you're banishing? You know.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant like you making it sound like you could banish cards and play. Because if you could, that'd be insane.
Oh,
That card. This gotta be. It's gotta
no,
be
but
broken.
just in general, their draw tactic. If they don't want to pay, if they're low on life points and they don't want to pay, and they have to risk it for the 2 top cards, it's a gamble
Yeah.
in itself.
Yeah, because we again we've signified earlier that like life paying is so strong and so like tough, right? There's a lot of cards that you need to pay life for, and
Yeah, I'm
like
not too fond of life
sacrificing.
paying.
Yeah, sacrificing 500 life doesn't sound like a lot, but like in the context of like every card effect near like the best ones cost you life, and you need to think about attacking and defending and stuff. It's a lot. It can add up pretty quickly.
But it's only this card that can be attacked if they reduce. So if they want
Yeah,
to eliminate it and
through other
risk
means. Yeah.
and risk a trigger card as well, like say they pay 500 life points, attack Perpetua, and then all of a sudden you
Mm.
play Legion, their champion gets destroyed, and you get Perpetua back on the field. Like, it's another tactic to kind of control the game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite yeah. Again, it's like it gives like this interesting decision that I think is really healthy for the game. Where like cards like it's cool. It's really good to have like cards that like are hard stuck, like they prevent your opponent from doing something, or they're protected, right? You need those type of card effects. But I think having like giving some people the choice of a card effect is really interesting because then like you can have these cool moments where like cool funny moments where like Perpetua isn't that strong like stat wise very big, so it's like actually quite feasible to attack into it, right? Because like later on this card can get really big really quick, or get or like, if you play it in the late game you're probably gonna have quite a few champions in there already, so it's gonna be really big, so it's gonna be hard to it's gonna be nearly impossible to attack into. But like early on, like if you get this out early, yeah.
All right, so to round out the stream, let's both
Mm.
choose one-of-one card that you want in your collection, or just any, but both.
Oh, I'm trying to think of which one I want now. Oh, goodness.
I had a good time looking at all of them earlier, so I know which
Yeah,
one I want.
because my initial choice would have been the Spirit Link cards, but the problem is that like for me would be the problem is that like okay, I have these Spirit Link cards, but I need 3 copies in my deck, and one of them's always gonna look cooler than the rest.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I kind of don't want to do that. I'm trying to think of. I actually haven't seen most of these. I've seen them visually, but I don't actually know what they do. Because like if we're going off pure aesthetic, I think the one I would like the most is I quite like Aneria, Keeper of the Siberian Beasts. Because I like the drawing of the tigers. Like I like this tiger drawing. Are you
Yes.
putting up on stream?
Yeah, I have it. I like that.
Nice.
Got the Bengal
Yeah, I like that.
tigers.
Yeah, they look sick. Well, I don't even know what the card does. Toss a coin. If it lands heads, reduce your life points by half and destroy all non-ice type champions
Hmm.
on your stage. Then select one champion on your graveyard and special summon it on the stage. Additionally, all ice type champions receive 500 attack points until the end of your turn. However, it lands tails, reduce your life points by 3/4. Only activate during one keeper per game. Yeah, so we haven't talked about keepers, but keepers are once per game effects now. They're not.
Yeah.
They're like you can only activate once per game, so they're a little bit. They're quite a bit. They're a lot stronger sometimes for handler in case of handlers because you can only do it once per game, but that's still pretty strong.
For sure. I like this. Our
Yeah.
artwork's really nice too.
Mm.
I'm
Oh,
like one of
visually,
those types where like if I get a one-on-one card, that's pure collection.
That's
I can't play them. I can't.
I can't. Yeah, no, I wouldn't play them because like one thing that's quite nice that the keeper cards at least they have
They have all
regular
types
art
of them, right?
versions.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I quite like. I like that give the game like exclusivity, but like also let's have the game pieces a little bit. You know what I mean?
Of course, of course.
What'd be
I
your one?
My choice. I'm in between two. But you already
Okay.
know Milo is really good. We both like that card a lot.
Yeah.
But outside of Milo, I like Talia.
Which one's that one?
Talia, Keeper, the Sun God, Tenotia.
Oh.
Artwork looks bananas.
Oh my god. It's so orange. That's so
It's
sick
so
though.
bright.
Yeah.
Toss a coin. If it lands heads, reduce your life points by half, and special summon 2 extra deck champions to your stage. Then select one champion in your graveyard and banish it. Increase your life points by the attack points of the banished champion. However, if it lands on tails, reduce your life points by 3/4. This effect is reversed for your opponent. This is a massive gamble, but
Basically, whoever gets this wins the game.
yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
It depends on the deck. Sadly, like if you let's say you're not playing a spirit extra deck, then it gets a little bit awkward. But honestly, like this card is funny, like because it's like okay, I want to decide the game now, which is quite funny.
Let's wrap up this game, shall we?
Let's win. Either win or either one of us wins, one of us loses. Especially because like if I lose a third of my life.
Yeah,
and I lose a third of my life, and I give you 2 champions.
3/4 of life is just nuts, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the maths alone is gonna. Oh.
Hold on, let me get the calculator out.
Gotta do that half the time anyway. No, but yeah, no. We definitely need to like we need to like do like a top 5 review list or something, or like do a stream like this again. Because like we still have I think the interesting one's gonna be handler and spells. Because I think like to wrap it up a little bit, Spirit Link and Union Champions are really fun. I think they give like a lot of excitement and like enjoyability for the game. Because like deck building becomes more interesting now. Gameplay becomes like a lot more fun because now you have a direction to go towards, like a specific thing that you're building going towards. You made the constant decision of like, okay, do I use these cards now or do I save them for later? Do I use them like for their initial value, or do I save it for like I want to get my Spirit or Union champions, right?
Exactly.
And the Union champions itself, they're all really fun. Like we've obviously seen like some of that are like a little bit worse than others, like but like overall they're all really fun. They all have their own strengths to them, and like in their respected decks, they can definitely work out, right?
Yeah, and even if you can't use them, they're great for the collection.
Yeah, they're good visual pieces. That's like the top of this game. Yeah, visually, this game looks gorgeous.
It's just visually, the cards are unique in the sense of how the artist is going about it. So
it's got every card piece stands out so much,
of course,
and feels like an actual like it really like stands out. Like especially when we played like on webcam, or we played physically. Or like when I play physically, like every time someone, even if they don't play card games, they see the game, they see the decks, or they see the champions, they're like, oh boy, what's this? This looks sick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, do you want to end off and drop your info, your socials? I'll also put in the description later as well.
Yeah. So you can find me on what's it called, on Instagram, Natan_Sweeney, Natan_SWEENAI. Again, I'm a full like part-time video editor, full-time game designer, and like what's it called, audio engineer in my spare time. Card game enjoyer. As always. I wish that was like an actual title you can give yourself. Card game enjoyer.
card game enthusiast.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
Or you do game connoisseur.
Card game connoisseur. But be sure to check me out on Instagram and YouTube. Hopefully, I'm gonna be releasing some content real soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me today too. I know
Oh no, 100%.
you're over the pond, so we have a little bit of time difference.
Yeah, no,
But
that's like literally what everyone says. Like, because like everyone that's played this game so far and met are all like based in the US.
yeah,
So it's like, oh god, it's a bit of a hassle to do. Like, yeah, no, I don't mind. Again, like, I know we both worked with the game, but it's generally like really fun and really enjoyable. This game, I think, it's only going up from here, and I'm excited to see like the decks we can play and the decks we come up with in set 2. 100%. I'm really
and
excited.
we're gonna be thinking about set 3 as soon as we start playing set 2. Cook that up everything every time.
I don't know. Like we gotta like we're set 2. We gotta do. There's so much theory crafting and gameplay. But yeah, no, definitely like what's it called? If anyone watches this, feel free like in the future, feel free to message me or message us to
Yeah,
potentially
I'll drop
play
all of
games
your
with us.
information in the
Yeah,
description
that'd be sick.
after this.
That'd be sick. No, thank you. But no, thank you so much.
Of course. Likewise, bro. Wonderland TCG, if you're still here, thank you for popping in and answering our questions. And
Giving us
friend
the
Nikki,
very needy rules
bye.
clarifications.
I'm gonna definitely put this as a pre-recorded as well. I'm just gonna do a quick edit and we'll drop it as a video and then we'll share it.
Mm,
But
yeah,
this was nice. This was nice.
this was fun. Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, no problems. That's Wonderland TCG. Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you, thank you.
All right, y'all. We'll catch you in the next one, eh?
Yeah, catch you. Take care.
Take care, everybody.
Bye bye. Bye bye.